Proposed changes to the assessment of GCSEs, AS, and A levels in 2022. This is from the Department of Education and Office of Qualification. So this is the content for the proposed changes. And on page 20, you have information about the exam timetable for the 2022 exams for AS and GCSE exams. Page 21, they give you contingency plan. What will happen if the pandemic and the problem still carries on? What will happen for the summer exams in 2022? And then page 26, subject level proposals. So it tells you what is going to happen for each subject, like for maths, for physics, for chemistry. So that's the content there, and you can just pick through the pages you want to look at, or you can get the whole document and read it. And I'll show you where to get the document later. Proposals at a glance. These proposals are made in the context of the coronavirus pandemic, which has disrupted education during the 2020 and 2021 academic years. Exams were cancelled in 2020, exams were cancelled in 2021. So this consultation proposes a package of measures to help mitigate the impact of disruption to students' education. Because students have missed lessons, some schools have closed, so they have to have all of these to help. And this proposal is for students, including private students, and those who are going to take GCSE, AS, or A-level exams in summer 2022. And also for the parents and the carers, and for teachers and for schools. And the exam boards that will provide the exams with the exam officers, they have to take note of this document. The duration, the consultation is open for 3 weeks. It started 12th of July 2021 and it ends on 1st August at 11:45 p.m. exact. And decisions will be announced early next academic year so that students and teachers and exam boards have time to plan for this, for next summer's exams. Office of Qualification considers how to best grade qualifications for 2022 in a way that is fair as possible to students in that year, and those who took qualifications in previous years, and those who will take them in the future. They considered the possibility of running exams as normal next year without adaptations. So, but they are proposing a package of adaptation for students being entered for GCSE as an AS and A-level qualifications in the summer 2022. Down at the bottom, we are proposing that exam boards should offer a choice of topics on which students are required to answer questions in the exams for GCSE English, Literature, History, and Ancient History. Very important for those doing these subjects. Provide a choice of topics, as was decided in 2021, and also a choice of content in GCSE Geography. We are also proposing changes to the arrangement for practical activities for science, GCSEs, and assessment arrangements for art and design GCSE. Practical science work. In the specific assessment arrangement for 2021, GCSE biology, chemistry, and physics and combined science teachers were given the opportunity to deliver practical science work by demonstration over the academic year 2020 to 2021. So that's what happened last year. Support materials, very, very important. Office of Qualifications consultation in December 2020 also asked for views on the provision of support materials in exams. In some GCSE subjects, students normally have to memorize key information. This is maths, physics, chemistry. There's a lot of things to memorize and recall them when they need to use it to answer question in exam. So we asked respondents whether they were in favor of students taking GCSE, AS, or A-level exams in 2021, having access to support materials in some subjects. Respondents were strongly in favor, 88% for this proposal. GCSE mathematics was identified as a subject where this support would be particularly appropriate, and we therefore propose that students should be allowed access to a formula sheet in the exam room in this subject. That's good news for math students. You would have access to formula sheet in the exam room. Students sitting physics and combined science papers currently have access to equation sheet, giving more complex equations, but are expected to memorize between 20 and 23 equations, depending on the subject and their tier. And exams test recall of these equations. Exam timetable. The summer exam series for 2022 will therefore take place at the same time as in a typical year for all AS and A levels and GCSEs, allowing students, parents, and teachers to plan. Take note of this. The Joint Council for Qualifications will consult schools and colleges in the autumn term on how the exam should be sequenced during this period, ensuring that papers in the same subject are spaced out as much as possible. So let's say you have maths on the first, maths paper one on the first of the month, and then paper two could be 2 weeks later. So they don't want to have it like next to each other. Results days for GCSE, AS, and A levels will also be confirmed in the autumn term. Contingency plans for the exams in summer 2022. We believe it should be possible for students to take exams safely next year, but we need to have plans in place for the unlikely event that that is not possible. So, for example, in 2021, schools and colleges are using teacher assessed grades for process for the award of students' grades. So, teachers have drawn on a range of evidence to determine grades, including optional use of questions provided by exam boards, as well as mock exams, coursework, and other work completed as part of a student's course. This process has provided schools and colleges with the flexibility to select the range of evidence on which students are assessed and ensured that students were only assessed on content they have been taught. So they might use this if in case there's a problem with the exams for 2022, one of the contingency plans. All students who are preparing to take GCSEs, AS, and A levels next year will have been affected by the pandemic. Most will have been directly affected by the closure of schools and colleges to the majority of students. Come to the bottom there. In proposing changes to the exams and assessments for 2022, we have sought to guard against proposing changes that would further advantage students whose education has been less disrupted than that of others. This is very important. So, support materials. We propose the following in 2022 for GCSE mathematics: access to a formula sheet in the exam room. Wow. So you don't have to memorize all those complex formulas. For GCSE physics and combined science, access to revised equation sheet in the exam room showing all relevant equations. A revised equation sheet which will have more things. So if you go to the government website, part of education, universities, and childcare during coronavirus, you would see the open consultation, proposed changes to the assessment of GCSEs, AS, and A levels in 2022. So we go to this website. This is where you'll get the document. If you scroll down to the bottom, you scroll down, you have access to the PDF document to download it, or you can read it all from there. You can see all of them, about 43 pages for the document. And it will tell you exactly what the proposals are saying. So there they are. And there's an option to print it. So that is where you can get it from direct off.